All right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is Get in the Car F1. I'm Ian, and I'm here with Cole, and we're going to give you the review of the Miami Grand Prix from last week, and then get into a little preview of the Spanish Grand Prix.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Um,
sir. I'm all for it. I mean, I'll start with the Miami review. I think Miami was really hyped up, in the media, as I'm sure it always like all the races are. And I think it was good, but it was definitely saved by the safety car at the end. I think it would have been a pretty boring race without that. And I
r-
saw a lot of them talking at the end of like the racing line was good, but if you got off the racing line at all ever, it was just like impossible to drive. So if they can
yeah,
improve that in the future, I think it'll be a better race. But overall, it was pretty fun. So
yeah, big
good spot.
turnout, a lot of celebrities. It looked better than people thought it would be, and then yeah, I mean, um, Ferrari had a bit of a stinker. Max just overtakes Signs in the first turn, and then the
Yeah,
race just kind of. I mean, it got a little bit interesting with the safety car, thanks to Lando and Gasly, but we saw even Leclerc like half a second behind Max could never get past him. So
yeah, couldn't even really get close. I think hindsight's 2020, of course, but like you should have pitted for the soft tires during the safety car for
yeah,
sure.
I think you go all out and you try to retake the lead
But
there.
really, yeah, I'll want to reiterate, man, Signs really choked it back there. That was really
Yeah.
rough. Like if he just did
Yeah.
really anything there, I think it just would have helped Charles a lot. But I get it. I mean, probably trying to worry about himself. But even then, he got himself overtaken quick. But
Yeah.
I mean, that that safety car between Lando and Gasly, that benefited my boy George Russell so much. That was
Right.
crazy. I took that dude in fantasy, and it was all it like I was just praying for a safety car, and it
from
worked. So
from 14th to 5th, and we got a little
yeah,
drama, like the Mercedes were racing each other a bit there at the end. Russell comes
yeah.
out ahead. um
That that radio message from Hamilton too, being upset with the strategy was just pretty funny because I think, like I said,
yeah,
without Russell getting that safety car, Russell's race would have been like way different. He probably would have been like 14th.
yeah, he's
So,
complaining that the strategy doesn't favor him, but it's like the strategy wasn't really favoring Russell either. It's just he got a safety car, and
yeah,
it allowed him to come back in positions.
he got some incredible luck there, no doubt about it. Um, I mean, really, the only other two teams I talk about from, finishing up our little review on Miami would be like Haas and Aston Martin. Like that was just a really funny battle to me. I thought Lance Stroll was just like being such uh an annoying driver. I mean,
Yeah.
I saw so many things being investigated between him and Kevin Magnussen. I know Magnussen's kind of the same way, like he'll push the envelope too, but dude, Lance Stroll just was annoying. And like Haas had a good race, it just all went downhill at the very, very last second.
Aston
And
Martin, it's just like, what are they doing? That's what I'm always thinking, because it's like, I think they got decent qualifying positions, and then they had some sort of fuel mishap that they had to replace before the race started, and then they have to come out of the pit lane, and it's like, oh, okay, well, that just kind of like ruins any chance you have of getting in the points. you know?
yeah, yeah, 100%. And yeah, and then and then just hard racing cars that you're slower than for that long is just such an unsportsmanlike move. Like I haven't watched enough F1 to really know, but I know that was not cool and
Yeah.
just weird. Just a weird little race, but a good one nonetheless. I think
Alrighty.
we can move on
Yeah.
into our little preview of the Spanish Grand Prix. I don't
Transition.
know too much about the track. I know it doesn't have, as big of straights as the Miami GP. It's a permanent track, which is a big difference from Miami.
Hmm.
Uh,
I
it's
think
somewhere that they've raced a lot at. I know that.
I think this is
Um,
their 63rd Spanish Grand Prix, like
right.
at this track, and like the first
So
one was like 1913. It's been around for ages.
it should really be like a familiar track for everyone. I was writing my article today and researching a little bit, and I saw like a lot of teams have winter practice sessions there during the off season and things of that nature. So I think most people know the track. Maybe
Hmm.
Guanho Zhu doesn't know it too well since this is rookie
Yeah.
year, but everyone other than him should be feeling comfortable. I think it's a lot more slow corners,
Hmm.
which I think will help Ferrari because as I've understood it, like Red Bull's really committed to straight line speed.
Hmm.
So, or like straight speed. So when they're on the straights in Miami, they were clearly quicker no matter what
Yeah.
against the Ferraris. But the Ferraris, when the drivers are driving well, they have the opportunity to be quicker through the slow corners. So I wonder if that'll help the Ferraris or if Red Bull has another crazy answer to make it, the opposite.
Yeah. 2.9 mile track. I think 66 laps. So it's I who how many laps was Miami? I don't actually remember. This might be shorter than Miami. Miami might have been 70, or no, I
Let
think it was
me. No,
57.
it's yeah,
Okay,
57.
so this is uh longer race in theory
Yeah,
than Miami. So
not as harsh of a climate though. I'm sure because
yeah,
I heard that a
Spain in
lot about
May.
Miami. Yeah,
Spain in May. It's got to be nice.
yeah,
Um
especially by the water.
mhm. Yeah.
Miami's just kind of got that. Miami's just humid, bruh. It's not
Yeah.
that nice unless you're like really out on the water.
Yeah, really hot. That's why we
Yeah,
saw a lot of hards being switched to
yep.
in the first pit.
I listened to some interviews and stuff after, and it just seemed like a lot of the drivers were like that was like you know a fatiguing race, harder than
Hmm.
most, like very tired by
Yeah.
the end. So probably
All
not the
right.
same in Spain.
Let's get into our teams and drivers. I mean, I guess we could just start with the Ferrari and Red Bull battle. Probably going to be
Yeah,
a talking point for the rest of the
always.
season.
Right.
Red Bull has narrowed the gap in constructors down to six, so Ferrari has a 6 point lead. Max is only 19 points behind Leclerc in the drivers' standings. So, yeah, and then Perez is third, Sainz is fifth. Um, yeah, I mean, I'd say they're pretty evenly matched, but Max might just be, the best driver in the world. Like, that's what it's coming down to. And the Red Bull is looking slightly faster.
Yeah. 100% agreed. Like the Red Bull just seems to get faster every
Yeah,
race day, and like Ferrari does well in practice and they'll do well in qualifying, but just the last couple races are just kind of a freaky trend, no doubt about,
yeah,
just a freaky trend. Like, you don't want to start losing races like that this early, especially when you were, touted with having, the much better car at the beginning of the year. I think people were pretty concerned about Red Bull at the beginning, and
for sure.
all those fears should be erased. Red Bull's nasty, and
They're
yeah,
starting to find
Max is the best
stability.
driver, no
Yeah.
doubt. Like, Charles is really good, but he's got a long way to go before he's like on Max's
Hmm.
level, I think, in Formula One
Because
still.
it's coming down to what you talked about. Ferrari, at least in Miami, out qualified them. They got pole and they got second. They're top of the grid, and then Red Bull's three and four. And you know, so they're looking faster in qualifying at everything. And then Max is probably just the experience and like the aggression and stuff like that. He just takes second right away, and then he's breathing down Leclerc's neck until he overtakes him, and then he's just running away with it until the safety car. made it a little bit closer, but you kind of felt like he was never giving up that lead once he took it.
Yeah. No, it really did. It felt like no chance. And, even I, for some weird reason, even during the safety car, I didn't really expect it to happen. It definitely got exciting, but it
Hmm.
wasn't like a surprise when the Ferrari wasn't able to really pressure him. I mean, I don't remember that well, but I don't remember, like, it definitely wasn't like the first two races of the season where they were like trading
Yeah.
trading spots back and forth. It was a lot less of that.
Yeah.
So,
And we'll
but
see
I
how
do
the.
think
Hmm.
sorry. I do think Signs is uh I think Signs has a real chance. Like I think that was definitely a confidence booster despite the kind of kerfuffle at the beginning.
Hmm.
But I mean, man, he's got a car that can win. He's talked about being ready to win. Like he's on the precipice. He's a really good driver. It's time to put it all together, qualify well, and win your damn home race, Mr. Signs. It'd be awesome. It would be a
It was
sick storyline. So I'm pulling for him this weekend for sure. Again,
it was way better than his last two races, that's for sure.
yeah,
And I can't blame him too much for just I mean it was a really good racing move by Max to just take it from him right away.
yeah,
And that's just Max
just a
being
better
a
start,
freak. It's Max being a freak of nature, honestly.
right? I mean, you just get that better start like that
Hmm.
as I adjust my camera, and you'll be good.
Yeah.
You know, like so. I think if Sainz could just get a better start, like even there, he would have been in a much better position. But he's had trouble starting that car before, so
Hmm.
he's just got to put it all together. So hopefully, he got some confidence back.
And I'll say, I mean, it doesn't have a ton to do with this race in Spain, but I just wanted to say, like, when we look back on this season, if if Red Bull ends up taking it by the end of the season, I think we'll look at Imola as the major turning point for Red Bull because they did the sprint race qualifying and there's more points available this year, and Max got every point
Possible.
possible
Yeah,
from that race. So I think that'll be the turning point, depending
I
on
agree.
how the rest of the season goes. But anyways, let's get into the other teams. We'll touch on Mercedes. I mean, I'm just gonna reiterate what I said last week. I just think, I mean, Russell just he got a little bit of luck with the safety car, but he played like the race overall really smart in my opinion. And I think he's just like a he just like wants it more, and he's like like his demeanor seems to be like a bit more calm. I just feel like Hamilton is just like stressing too much about this. Like he must feel like I'm Lewis Hamilton, like this shouldn't be happening to me. And it's
Right.
like starting to get to him. That's what it seems like.
I agree. It does seem like Hamilton is a lot more flustered than Russell is. Russell doesn't seem too, fluffed about the car being where it is at the moment. I think he understands it's new regulations. It takes time to get it right. It always happens. The first team to get it right is going to be quick that for a while, and that's just how it goes. And Ferrari and Red Bull are clearly the ones who got it right. But
Hmm.
yeah, I agree. It's weird to see, but I also, don't sleep on Lewis. You can't sleep on Lewis. Like we've been memeing and saying things, but it's
Yeah.
it's
No,
damn Lewis Hamilton. He's got it in him, and he's definitely gonna fight when he gets that car right and starts feeling it. So
think he
I
just
wouldn't be
needs to get
surprised.
yeah. I think he just needs to get the mentality right cuz it's like Russell it's probably more like well, it's my first year with the new team. Uh after like seeing the state of our car, like I'm probably not expected to like win or anything. So I'm just going to like drive the best I can every race. And like the results are just showing that like he's been really consistent. And yeah, Hamilton just seems a bit more flustered by the whole situation, but I agree.
Yep.
He could definitely rebound. And
Yep.
then talk about McLaren. Um
They're just so hard to talk about. Like they just Lando's
Landa
quick, but I feel like Lando's quick because he's a really good driver at the moment. Like he's just a fast driver in a not great car, and
car's
Danny
not
Rick
great,
is
yeah.
just lost. Just still lost. It doesn't. I mean, again, he's just like the irrelevant orange car doing nothing that anyone cares about.
Yeah, he fell to last, I think, no, maybe not this race.
His
I
finishes.
don't
I
know.
mean, that's what I'm saying. He's
You can't
irrelevant.
even remember. Yeah, you can't even
Right. You
remember.
literally can't remember where he finishes because it's just irrelevant. It's like, oh well, Danny Rick had another terrible day. Well, okay, shocking. It's sad. I
Shocking.
like the guy, but
Yeah,
that's
same.
just he's just redundant at this point right now. He needs to come back in a big way if he wants
Yeah,
anyone to remember him
Lando had
this
the
year.
unfortunate accident, but he'll probably rebound quite well,
Yeah,
I'm
I
guessing.
think that just came down to new track, new
Yeah.
track, weird spot. That was just a weird wreck.
Yeah.
Glad no one got hurt, but just a weird one. I think just new track woes. I don't think that'll happen in the future when people are more used to it.
Mhm.
I wanted to talk about
Haas.
Alex
Oh.
Albon a little bit
Mhm.
first. Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
Haas, but Alex Albon is just man, that dude has been unbelievably impressive. I went fishing this week and I had 8 hour drive home, so I was listening to the NF1 podcast with Alex Albon on it. I think it was like the F1 official podcast, and it was right after he'd gotten the first 10 points during his 57 lap stint, or not 10 points, first 1 point, 10th
Yeah.
place.
Finished
Uh,
he finished ninth.
and he just really, I mean, just listening to him, he just seemed to have like a really good attitude, and was just amazed that he was doing so well, but also seemed confident in himself. So I think that year off really helped him somehow, which I wouldn't imagine would. I feel like a year off would just really shatter your like F1 ego, but he seemed to take it really well. And man, he's like, if he keeps this up at Williams with that terrible sounding car, like he's gonna demand a way better seat like
Yeah.
soon, really quickly. So props to him.
Or you never know, Williams could improve.
That
I'm
would be
hoping
awesome.
I'm
That would be
hoping
really
so.
awesome. I like Williams. They're a cool team. I agree.
Albon's perfect for them. He's got some experience. He he has like this calm, level-headed demeanor. Like I feel like he understands the position and he just tries his best. That's all you can really ask for.
Yeah,
And
and
like
he seems to be having a
exceeding,
great time doing it.
I feel like he's exceeding expectations. It's like
Certainly.
Williams getting in the top 10. Like big deal for them.
Right. Been a
Um,
while.
yeah. Yeah. Let's get into Haas.
I mean, Mick Mick Schumacher. I think that was his best race for
Hmm.
sure. Like that we've seen so far. Obviously ended in a bit of a disaster, but up until that point, it was really good
He
all
showed
throughout.
promise. Yeah.
Yeah, bested K Mag a couple times, got some overtakes, showed that he's pretty capable of driving in a pack and not just at the back. So
Hmm.
he did pretty well.
Haas is like the future's looking pretty good, especially when they're talking about how give them 4 to 5 races. It might have some upgrades coming. Like
Yep, yep.
it feels like they could break their way into the midfield and like cement their spot this season if they just keep racing well. Like K Mag is really good for them, and if Mick keeps this up, that's even better.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think really promising to hear upgrades on the way. I hope they're good, and I hope Haas just keeps improving. Because yeah, like I think we talked about in the first one, just a good constructors finish to get some money and to
Money,
get
yeah,
some show like, hey, we're a team that's worthy to be here, and you should come sponsor us. Would be great.
yeah.
So definitely pulling for those boys. But yeah,
Then we have Alpine real quick. I'll just Ocon 8th, Alonso 11th. I feel like this is like kind of their ceiling in terms of like the result they can get from race to race. Just because like unless there's some accidents or like DNFs from the top teams. But like yeah, I don't know. Eighth seems like about their ceiling for
yeah,
either
they're
Alonso
quick.
or Ocon.
They're quick, but they just, like a lot of teams, just keep having problems. I know Alonso had some penalties,
Yeah.
so yeah, they're a quick car, but yeah, they just they're kind of just a little bit far away and putting it all together. They're a lot like I feel like they're on McLaren's heels a bit. I'd say they're
Agreed.
fighting for like that best, you know, best behind Mercedes of the rest.
Yeah,
Because I think
this
Mercedes is the best of the rest right now, no doubt about it.
yeah, they're definitely they're Alpine and I'd say Alfa Romeo too, kind of like contesting McLaren because McLaren's slipping. Um,
Yeah, but it's really just Bottas who's.
yeah,
I
that's
feel like Bottas is like boosting Alfa Romeo so hard.
I was about to touch on that because it's like Bottas is doing pretty well, and then Zhu or Zhu,
Yeah, I don't know
however,
how to say his name.
yeah, I
Guan
mean,
Zhou, but
try my
yeah,
best.
I mean he's a rookie. He's a rookie. He had a good couple first races, but he's definitely fallen off a little bit.
I
But
can't blame him too much this, because I think he had a some sort of mechanical issue, so they had to retire him early. It's
yeah,
unfortunate, but just need to see a bit more out of him because you want to be able to secure your spot for the future. So every race
absolutely.
matters. Um, yeah, I mean,
I think that's
um,
pretty much it.
yeah, that's pretty
That's
much
all I've got to
it.
hit on.
I mean,
I mean,
I don't think we have to
exciting
touch
race.
on every team every time. Like,
No, I think the rest were pretty
uh,
quiet this weekend. Not much happened. So,
do we want to do our
oh yeah,
prediction for the top
let's
three?
definitely.
Okay. I'm actually I'm thinking of a Ferrari comeback race here. I think they will get first, but it's going to be Leclerc. And then
Yeah.
I'll say Leclerc first, Max second, Sainz third again.
Okay, I think I'll go. I'll go Charles first, Sainz second. Um,
1-2.
yeah, and yeah, I mean realistically, I'll go Max in third probably.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say.
Yeah, I
I'd
mean,
like Carlos to win. I'd like to see if he could do it, but at
I
the same time, that
agree.
wouldn't really help Charles. So I wonder if they'd even. I don't know. It'd be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what those talks are like, but
Yeah,
it definitely
probably too early in the season to be giving wins. So
yeah, but realistically, he is in first, and they might want to do as much as they can to help him keep that lead. I don't know,
true,
but
very true.
Ferrari really does need a bounce back here, and I think it'll happen.
I agree.
It would be too convenient if Max just runs away with the season. Ferrari's got to fight back.
Yeah, they have to. They have to. But I've heard them just real quick before we wrap up. I've heard that they're like kind of holding back on upgrades, waiting for later in the season to whip out like the true demon beast of Ferrari.
Makes
Because if you
sense.
upgrade that thing, uh, that might be crazy. But don't sleep on Red Bull either.
Yep. All right, guys. Thanks for watching the Spanish Grand Prix preview. Um, see you before Monaco.
Yep. Like and subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.